What's the deal, my people? You know it is Don Tony Teflon, and I'm back at you another one, and this one is the Changeling Episode 5 breakdown. In this video, we're going to go through all of those little hidden clues, Easter eggs, mysteries that you may have missed and explain them to you. We got two major theories confirmed in this video, and I'll tell you exactly what they are. But even though we get stuff confirmed, we are confronted with brand new mysteries to solve. So let's get right into it. The first part of this episode is about Emma the sorceress. Her friend said that when she took that photo, she looked like a sorceress. And we see the backstory of exactly how this photo got taken. We see Emma spot the washerwoman but does not go to her. When she goes back to town, the guy says one specific thing: do not let her touch you. He tells her not to go down there, but he really stresses for her not to let him touch her. And then she goes back down there, and that is when we get the whole sequence of the tying of the rope and the wishes on her wrist. After this is when she meets a photographer. She drives around with him on his scooter. They find a location. He asks her if he can take her picture. She says no. He says, let me go take a piss. When he does, she takes the picture herself. And this is the picture that is said to make her look like a sorceress. Now, I made up the theory that she was body swapped by the old lady, the washerwoman, and that does happen later. At this particular time, I don't think that she is body swapped yet, but I do think that this position, the way she's holding herself, is some type of manifestation of the sorceress, and I'm going to tell you why. When you look at the way she's holding and her hand pointing downward, that gesture means something. When I look at the way she has her hand, it reminds me of Hamsma. When Hamsa's hand faces down, it opens you up to all the abundance and goodness of the universe, welcoming them into your life. Hand facing down also brings fertilities and answers to prayers and manifestations. So when we look at that, we can see that she's holding her private part, and that's dealing with fertility. It also says hands facing down brings you fertilities and answers to prayers and manifestations. And if you really want to look at what an answer to a prayer is, it's kind of like a wish, and that's what I think is going on here in this picture. We could also see when people look at this picture, they seem captivated by it. It seems like it puts them in some type of trance. Now, all this happens in Norway, and we know from the opening credits that this whole show starts off in Norway with people escaping from Norway because of religious persecution and coming to America. Now that brings us to our boy William Wheeler, who we spot right off the bat here dealing with the picture of Emma. We see him with his wife and his daughter right off the bat going to the ice cream cone stand, and then we see him at the end. So right off the bat, he has already seen this picture of Emma. So what does that mean? This basically confirms 100% that he is the one who is sending the text messages to Emma from the beginning. Before the witches give Apollo a second chance, we see that this poem is carved inside of this wall. Now, it's a good chance that Emma did carve this, because we see that this same poem is in the opening credits on her telephone. The poem says, they bathe it at dusk, they hide it with guile, at home in the forest, forever lost in the wild. So what they're talking about here is a changeling. That's why they say they bathe it, not as it's a person, it's a changeling. So they use the word it at dusk, and they hide it with guile, meaning they hide the baby and swap the baby out, and they do this without people knowing. They're at home in the forest, and that's where the elves live. We get further backstory of Emma and how she just could not bond with this baby, how she realized that this baby was swapped. She could not place her finger on it, but she knew from the beginning that there was something wrong and that this child just was not her child. And as she does this and she learns more about this, we see her how she truly wanted to be a mother when she got married with Apollo, how she was so happy to be pregnant and have a child, but she just can't put her finger on it. There's something wrong with this child that she's taking care of knowing that this is not her child. And this is what prompts her to go and contact the wise women, looking for answers, anything that would explain everything that is going on in her life. And it's when she gets the text back from the wise women, which is Cal, who does hit her back and hits her back really fast and says, "Are you receiving messages that are disappearing?" And this is what makes her believe. But when she tells her that she can help her, but she has to have the courage to do what she has to do, and that is most likely to take this baby out. She doesn't have that right off the bat. She still can't bring herself to do it. It's not until this baby actually bites her. And when the baby does bite her, this baby bites her with force. It bites her where she starts to bleed. And this is a tiny baby. It should not be able to bite this hard to draw blood. But this is what allows her to see through this baby's glamour and actually see that this is not a human child. I told you before to watch the colors, that the blue meant the elves and the changelings and the red meant all of the witches. We seen earlier when the pictures were being developed, they were being developed in a red room, that Emma looked like a sorceress. Yes, of course, it had to be developed in a red room, but that still goes along with the witches. And when you look at this baby, you can see it's dressed in all blue. Also, the crib is blue. I mean, they're really beating you in the head with this whole blue thing, meaning that this definitely is a changeling. Keep looking for those colors. I'm telling you, they mean something. As we see Apollo in the refugee camp for the women who just had to escape, whether they killed their children and had to flee, that this island is protected and no one's supposed to be able to find it. But for some reason, he was able to find it. And when he did, also Emma told him specifically, or told the people there, that he would come for her. We then see while he's eating there, the woman who was in the church group with him, that she has made her way over to the island also. So Cal is trying to explain to him all the things that are going on and how he has to open up his mind. But then we get a shot of Emma with his mother, and she says specifically, the mother, that it's passed down from woman to woman to woman, back and forth, just like a chain, which ties into the beginning when they say that if it's not taught by the mother, then the world would teach you. Which to me just about confirms the theory that his mother is a witch, and that is the reason why he was able to find the island, because this is an island for witches. When dealing with the Amazonians that she brought up, they were always able to find their island because of their bloodline, and I think that's the same thing going on here with Apollo. After Apollo eventually meets William Wheeler's wife, and he finds out that he was just a liar all along, that he robbed her for the money. Not only did he rob her for the money, but he defaced the book by putting his daughter's name throughout every page, and he is actually the person who killed his daughter. Apollo has no choice but to go and confront this dude, and when he does, we see this man without his glamour finally, and how he truly looks. And we can see exactly why he was able to take that beating, because this dude, I do not believe is an elf, but I do believe he's a changeling. And he says specifically that the people who told him who he was, the people who showed him who he was, is the one who gave him his name, and that name was Kindergarten. We already put that together because we said that the avatar they were using was the exact chain that fell off his neck when they were beating him up. But I think the important thing is saying that these people told him his name. They gave him his name. And those are the people I believe that he called. And I believe that they're not just elves, that there are other changelings out there, other changelings who are out there, and they have some type of group. Just like these witches have a group, there's an adult changeling group going on here. And that is the people who have sent all the disappearing text messages to these women who actually have changeling kids. And that's why in the one text message that Emma get, you see that it says, "Don't talk to witches, leave witches alone," because they know that the witches will expose them and actually kill the changeling babies. That is my quick video for this. I'll be doing a full live stream where we'll deep dive into everything. And let me just say that everyone who thumbed up the video last time, it really helped. If you can help get this video to 500 likes, it really pushes this video out there and it gets me the views that I need so I can continue making videos. Let me know what you think in the comment section. If you like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, spread this across the realm, and of course, subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay sexy.